All right, we're taking you right now to a slightly different story, drama that unfortunately continues to take place in the Delhi Assembly. A showdown over a CAG report. Remember, the Delhi Assembly has seen a very dramatic few days. Yesterday, drama playing out around the former Chief Minister Atishi not being allowed inside the premises of the Vidhan Sauda. She continued to say that there was no written form asking her not to enter and asking other Aam Aadmi Party members not to enter. Remember, pretty much the entire opposition was suspended, the BJP said, for bad behavior in the Delhi Assembly. We say pretty much because of the 22 leaders, 21 were suspended. The Delhi government today is all set to table the crucial report. This is a CAG report on health in the Assembly. Remember, the health plank has been a huge plank for the Aam Aadmi Party in the years that they were in power in Delhi. They opened and ran mohalla clinics that were much appreciated. Today, the BJP is arguing that the CAG report will lay bare financial mismanagement that took care within that. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party, for its part, is saying that the report itself is very biased. It was researched in a biased manner. We'll tell you more about what it is that both sides have to say on this entire story in just a second. Very quickly, we'll play out more reactions for you. Then we'll go to reporters.
देखिए सीएजी की जो रिपोर्ट आएगी नेक्स्ट, ये तो सीएजी ही बताता है, हमें नहीं मालूम होता। तो मैं ये एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ कि मंडे को एक और रिपोर्ट आनी चाहिए।
देखिए, बहुत पक्षपात किया गया इस सरकार द्वारा। ये सरकार ने दोनों हाथों से लूटा है। शराब घोटाला कर लिया, स्कूल घोटाला, बस घोटाला, अब कैमरा घोटाला भी समझ में आ रहा है। कोई घोटाला छोड़ा ही नहीं। ये कहते थे कैमरा चोरी पकड़ेगा, पता लगा चोर कैमरे ले गए। और जिस तरह से करप्शन की भेंट चढ़ा है, आज शराब घोटाला डिस्कस हो रहा है, मुझे लगता है कि कैग की रिपोर्ट कैमरा घोटाला पे भी मंगानी पड़ेगी, जो हालात बने हुए हैं।
Okay, let's go over to our colleague Pallavi first to understand a little bit more on this aspect of the story. Pallavi, can you tell our audiences what does the media know about the CAG report that is yet to be tabled? What details do we have? We know it's about how the Delhi government ran health in particular, the mohalla clinics, their management in COVID, but what details do we have on it?
Well, Toya, one of the USPs which was always flaunted by Aam Aadmi Party were on two factors. One was education and second was always about health. Now, what has the CAG report today said are some very serious allegations against the AAP government on the health front. Mohalla clinics were always showcased by the Aam Aadmi Party Sarkar as one of the biggest achievements, which was bringing the recognition not just to them but also abroad as well. And there were endless rounds of kind of tours which were conducted. But if you look at the CAG report is very incriminating evidence it provides. First of all, the first figure, very quickly I'm going to talk about, is relating to COVID, cure. It says that out of the 787.91 crore rupees which was given by the central government to the Delhi government, only 582.84 crores were utilized. Also, most of the machines which were procured, the kind of preparations which should have been there inside the hospitals, they were inadequate. Basic requirements like ICU, for example, those cylinders for breathing, oxygen cylinders, they were overpriced or they were not made available. So essentially what was happening is that, first of all, salaries were being raised, but there were no competent doctors or nurses who were hired. In many cases, there were medicines which were being procured and distributed which had either expired or were not of good quality. These are the many factors which are now being raised in the CAG report, which are very alarming. So today, when the report is going to be tabled, of course, the AAP MLAs will not be there because they've all been asked to leave. But yes, I think the full-fledged discussion will show the fact that yet another promise and a claim by the Aam Aadmi Party government is actually a bunch of lies.
Pallavi, stay with us, please. We're just moving on to more breaking news that is coming in right now. Sources have told CNN News 18 we asked that question about details of the report. And what we're learning right now on this report is that the report will be discussing the alleged staffing deficit, the alleged shortage of medicines and equipment, and alleged lapses in managing the essential drug list and other related findings in the infrastructure in Delhi. We have our reporter Akash Sharma bringing us these details. Akash, tell us more about what it is that this report says is taking place, or rather was taking place in the last few years in Delhi within the health management.
Right. So, Toya, first of all, you see, at around 2 p.m. today, the House proceedings would begin, and then we are expecting that this report would be tabled that will talk about the kind of audit that has been carried out in the health infrastructure of the national capital. As far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, so we know that how they were in power in last 10 years and how all kind of claims were made during their tenure. But as far as this audit is concerned, sources are telling us that this report is talking about some sort of a staffing deficit, shortage of medicines in the hospitals, equipment, lapses in managing essential drug list, that is EDL, and several other, findings are there related to health infrastructure. Also, very importantly, sources are telling us that this audit is also talking about the inferior quality of drugs that were consumed in the hospitals here in the national capital. Procurement of medicines was happening from the blacklisted and debarred firms. This is something that is, very shocking given the fact that we have seen Aam Aadmi Party, claiming about world-class health infrastructure here in the national capital, and then this audit suggesting, something otherwise. So, it will be interesting to see as to how things will pan out from now onwards, given the fact that we are going to see, this report. In fact, CM Rekha Gupta is going to present this report today in the Delhi Assembly. And then, this will further be sent to PAC as it generally happens. The findings will be given to the House, and also it has been categorically mentioned by the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders that action will be taken as far as these audits are concerned.
Okay. Akash, thank you for joining us. This coverage will continue on CNN News 18 through the day. Let's go very quickly to our colleague Pallavi to understand a little bit more. Pallavi, an onslaught of sorts is what it seems the BJP has launched in the last few days. Since they've come into power in Delhi, they are targeting the previous Aam Aadmi Party government. I do want to ask you, Pallavi, what is the Aam Aadmi Party's plan to take this forward? How are we going to see them counter this?
Well, they're not there inside the house, as we all have been reporting. Akash has been reporting, so has Anshul, that all the MLAs have been asked to leave for the remaining part of the session. But it's not going to be an easy fight for them to counter back. In fact, in the last day when the CAG report on liquor was placed on the table of the house, as well as all of them were asked to leave, Atishi Marlena, who is the leader of the house in the Delhi Assembly, had held a full-fledged press conference, and he had defended the liquor policy by saying, that the previous liquor policy was actually discriminatory, highly priced, and these were the ones which were brought in by the AAP government were much better priced, they were more productive. So these kind of defenses will go. But I agree with you, Toya, it's not just anymore about Delhi. It's going to have its repercussions on the government in Punjab, the narrative in Punjab. There are 2 years really left to go for elections over there, and inch by inch, block by block, the opponents of AAP, whether it's the Congress, the BJP over there, and to a certain extent the Akalis, are also using the same narrative which led to a downfall of the AAP in Delhi. There is a corrupt government. They tom-tom, they flaunt, they claim, but none of those achievements are happening on the ground. And theirs is the story of failed promises. And the head of the Aam Aadmi Party is Arvind Kejriwal, and he's the one where the story of corruption reaches directly. Where there's a Liquorgate controversy, the Sheesh Mahal report, which will come out much later. All of this will touch upon a narrative on AAP, which could be very detrimental for them in Punjab as well.
Pallavi, thank you for that context. So, our colleague Pallavi Ghosh bringing us that context, our colleague Akash bringing us context on the story earlier. We'll be tracking the Delhi Assembly, of course, through the day today. Right now, take a look at more reactions.
CAG रिपोर्ट की आप बात कर रहे हो, ये तो बहुत ज़माने से CBI के पास है, और आप कह रहे हो कि भाई आपने मौका कब दिया। और मैंने यही कहा कि भाई इसमें बताइए करप्शन कहाँ है, बेईमाना कहाँ है। डिप्टी स्पीकर का चुनाव होना है, जब अपोजिशन के लोग बाहर हैं, तो आप ये कैसे ठीक है, तो आप इसको सबको अंदर बुलाएं और डिप्टी स्पीकर का चुनाव कराएं, ये तरीका होना चाहिए।
देखिए, इस समय इस विषय में पूरी चर्चा के बाद, सदस्यों के कंसर्न्स के बाद अध्यक्ष का विवेक है कि इसको किस प्रकार से आगे बढ़ाना है, और स्टैट्यूटरी पोजीशन, संवैधानिक पोजीशन भी ये है कि पीएसी उस पर चर्चा करे। अध्यक्ष जी ने उस पर कंसर्न्ड डिपार्टमेंट से कमेंट्स लेने के बाद आगे कार्रवाई करने के लिए समयबद्ध तरीके में कहा है, और यही इसकी सही परिणति तक इसको लेकर भी जाएगा।